My brothers and sisters, whenever we are faced with a catastrophic event in our local or national regions, the first thing people want to know is who is going to help us. People want to know who is it that has the authority and the ability to help solve this crisis. Who has the authority and the ability to bring stability and maintain a peaceful and prosperous life? When Hurricane Matthew hit North Carolina a few months ago, bringing destruction, suffering, and loss to the region, many local officials came under fire for their alleged poor response to the crisis. They had the authority to help in a more timely way, but seemed for political reasons to be lacking the desire and ability to address the urgent needs of our localities. Governor Pat McCrory had the authority and the ability to address the urgent needs of the people affected in regions devastated by Hurricane Matthew. But for political reasons, he did not have the desire nor the compassionate common sense to use the authority granted unto him to make an immediate positive response to the needs and critical issues of the people who were devastated by Matthew's fury. Even today, it seems as if the state of the world, and particularly our nation, is one of ongoing crisis. So that many people are asking, who is going to help us? People want to know, as a nation, how are we going to solve our global problems, such as racism, terrorist attacks, war, crime, hunger, and economic instability? Who has the necessary authority, the power, the ability, and desire to address these national and global issues? And guess who our nation voted to lead us out of our perceived state of national crisis? President-elect Donald Trump. That's another sermon in itself. Our perceived, tell your neighbor, perceived inability to find real solutions to national and global problems is often mirrored in our own personal lives as well.
That's right. That's right.
You see, in our own personal lives, when financial setbacks arise, when our personal dreams are dashed, when our children seem bent on self-destruction, we ask ourselves, in effect, who is going to help us? Who can establish some control? We certainly don't feel like we can regain control, and therefore we long to create order, peace, and well-being in our families by any means necessary. Even if that means putting a person like Donald Trump into the highest position in our nation. We desire the authority and the power to change our circumstances by any means necessary. That's why I suggest to you today the number one desire of all people in every situation of life, whether it is global or whether personal, the number one desire for all of us is power.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, Lord, come on, look. Power is the principal issue of humanity.
That's right. That's right.
Power defined is the ability to influence and control circumstances.
That's right.
Come on now, let's snatch our halos off. We all want the power to control our circumstances.
That's right. That's right, preacher. They still ain't got it, preacher. They still don't want to say it.
Listen to me good.
Go ahead, preacher.
People may not express their desire for power exactly that way, because I'm looking at some of y'all.
That's right. That's right.
But ultimately, people desire the ability to manage, shape, and control their circumstances. If we had the power, we would reverse all negative personal and family setbacks and build a better life for our own selves. Am I right about it? Come on now. And you know what I have discovered? Deacons, this is what I've discovered. That every sane and logically thinking human being desires power.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Did y'all hear what I said? Every sane. If you here today and you got your right mind, and you thinking logically, as a human being, you desire power. And that again is defined as the ability to influence and control the circumstances of life, personally and in the world around us. For many of us, the lack of this ability to influence and control the circumstances of our lives fills our lives with many frustrating and painful scenarios. I know I'm right about this. In the days that we live in, many people are looking for ways to escape the human quicksand of cultural, social, and economic control. People are looking for ways to be instantly launched into stardom. Come on now. You don't believe that? Just check out Facebook. How many of us have a Facebook account? Come on now. Don't put your hand down here. Come on. How many of us post stuff to our timeline and post pictures and hoping that we will get some readers and subscribers? People are looking for ways to instantly launch themselves into stardom in social media, athletics, business, and sad to say, even in religion. And the reason why is because this thing called power. Because folk believe and understand that if you're launched into stardom, that stars have influence. Denzel Washington come walking in here. Some of us who would not move for anybody. Slide over. Sit here, Denzel. Sit right here by me. Stars have influence, and influence brings you power over situations and over other people. So there's a lot of us who are seeking stardom because we believe that's the only way that we will be able to control, influence our circumstances. Fred, maybe, perhaps, it is this inherent lust for desire and power and drive to control our circumstances that has spawned the resurrection and creation of old and new superhero characters. Did you hear what I said? If you are a movie fan, just think about all of the old and new superhero type characters that have hit our movie screens over the past 2 years. We got Ant-Man. Superman's back. Batman. Batman versus Superman. The Fantastic Four. X-Men. Captain America. They even brought back Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And guess what? Already slated to arrive in a local theater near you for 2017 is Wonder Woman. Y'all remember Wonder Woman? Spider-Man. Thor. And they're coming back with Power Rangers. is interesting to note that many of these superhero type characters have their origins or their roots in another world.
Yeah, that's right.
Or in a distant planet. This may indicate to us that deep within the heart of mankind, there is an unconscious awareness that the solution to our earthly problems and crises cannot come from this planet itself. Oh, Lord. Maybe the reason why all these superhero characters are coming back is because mankind recognizes that our help must come from another place, must come from another realm. And our future lies somewhere beyond our world. This is what I believe the psalmist was alluding to in Psalm 121. The psalmist understood that the answers to his problems could not be found solely on the earth, but that there was another realm, a higher power that needed to be sought in order to find the help that he so desperately needed. That is why the psalmist wrote, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. He said, my help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. The psalmist, in essence, was saying that beyond the loftiest physical hills that stood before him, that there was another hill in the supernatural world above, the abode of the King of glory, the place where the King of kings and the Lord of lords, the King of the heavens and the earth, the Almighty God dwelt. This is the place where he could find the real help that he needed if he were going to survive and continue to thrive in his life. So in closing, New Providence, there are solutions for the problems and crises in our world. I stand here to declare on this first Sunday in 2017 that there are solutions to the problems and crises in our families, in our communities, in our businesses, in our nations, and in our world. Tell your neighbor, there is a solution. As a people and planet under siege, we need help from a higher authority. Help from a greater world. that has the ability to address our crisis and our needs. We need help from someone from that world who has the experience in bringing light into darkness, life into barrenness, and order out of chaos. Our help and our hope cannot be found in the person of President-elect Donald Trump, because he was formed in sin and shapen in iniquity. Now to some folk, he may look like a superhero type, but he is limited in power and in ability. But there is someone who has the credentials, someone who has the power, someone who has the ability, someone who has the desire to help navigate us through the seas of life in 2017. Who are you talking about, Pastor? Jesus, the Christ. He's the only one. He's the only source of real power and real authority. He can do what no other power can do. So if we're going to make it in 2017, we must recognize what the psalmist recognized, and that is all of our help comes from the Lord. Who will help me in 2017? I don't know who you are depending on, but my faith, I will trust in the Lord. You know why I'll trust him? Because he's never failed me yet. And because he is the King of Kings, because he is the Lord of glory, because he is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last, I'll trust him. Tell your neighbor, I'll trust him. Who gonna help me in 2017? Let me tell you what the songwriter said. He said, be not dismayed. Whatever betide, whatever comes up, whatever shows up. He said, God will.
God will.
I said, God will take care of you. Beneath his wings. That's my hiding place. And his wings are full of love. He cares for me. I can hide under his wings. I can abide there in the shadow of the Almighty. I know that under his wings that he will take care of me. And he will take care of you. So don't be scared after the swearing in ceremony.
Yes, sir.
Don't be scared when the new house shows up. Don't be scared when the new government gets in place.
That's right.
Because we're not depending on the government.
That's right. That's right.
We are depending on our God. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help
Yes, sir. Very present help. Yes, sir.
in the time of trouble. Who gonna help me? Who gonna help you? The Lord is my light and my salvation. And I declare on this first Sunday, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of him, Lord, have mercy. I don't have to be afraid. Come on, stand to your feet all over the church. Thank you, Lord. Whose report will you believe?
That's right.
Some of us believe CNN, Fox News. We listen to everybody else's report of situations. But we forget that we have the greatest report card
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
that's been delivered to us. And if we believe the report of the Lord, he's promised us that he would never leave us, nor will he forsake us. So that's what I'm putting my hope and my trust in 2017. I hope and pray that you that are here today will put your hope and live daily trusting in the power of our God.